Hey folks, glad you can join me. Since we had so much fun with talking about the Death Star, and if you haven't already, we have additional fun in counting how many times I said the word Death Star, Death Star. So here, more Death Star that I've actually written today. And I just want to keep on the idea and maybe expand on some of the stuff that we talked about and stuff. So you don't build a Death Star if you're the only advanced civilization around. If you're the only civilization around, you don't build a Death Star. So if the moon is a Death Star, or was a Death Star, that's because the reality that involved, matched that and was relevant to that, so that there were heaps or a bunch of other civilizations that were also at the level of a Death Star, or at least at some kind of advanced level to need such a response as a Death Star. And there's all sorts of complications with that, but at the same time, the premise of thinking about those things, that kind of reality, isn't necessarily to emphasize or to demonstrate that thinking the moon is a Death Star is ridiculous. If you need a Death Star, let's get specific instead of being so correct or whatever. Let's take some chances and get specific. Okay, if the planet Earth was inhabited at that time or at some time with a highly advanced civilization that another highly advanced civilization responded to, in terms of building a Death Star, bringing it in. One, some things that I've been thinking about. This is not like long plotted out to disprove a Death Star or anything like that. It's just things that I've been thinking about, and I bet through the talks that we have, there are ideas that you've been thinking about as well, and maybe some stuff that I didn't touch on. I leave that space there, believe me. I see avenues and stuff where we could have expanded on more, but I'm not afraid to not cover them initially or whatnot or whatever. I leave those areas for you guys to also, and you can put in the comments or whatever, right? So I hope send back some ideas then if you see something really juicy or good, right? So if the Earth is inhabited with a highly advanced civilization that needs a response of a Death Star, you certainly don't sit there on the moon and terraform it and transform it into a Death Star. That's very unlikely to happen, because the Earth this will be the moon, Death Star, moon, potential Death Star, and this will be the Earth. My left side will be the Earth, right? So it's unlikely because you don't build a Death Star if you're friends, more or less, or if there's some kind of dodgy, right? So it's unlikely that the Earth civilization of highly advanced civilization allows a Death Star to be constructed and allows a moon to be transformed into a Death Star, So if we're to consider that there once was a relative environment that corresponded, that matched, that justified the need for a Death Star, then it's safe to say that none of them would be allowing the transformation of any planetary body into a weapon to be used against them, right? It's just not like the only civilizations that allow a weapon that can destroy them to be built right next to them are civilizations that can't do shit about it, right? And then if that civilization can't do shit about it, you don't sit there building Death Stars to do shit about that civilization. You don't need a Death Star. So What this means then is, if you have Death Star technology and you need to be building Death Stars, okay, because you're in that type of hairy situation, right? And nobody's allowing you to go sit there and build a Death Star. So you have to have some kind of amazing thing going. You have to have some kind, you're basically, it needs to be a mobile ship. It needs to be actually a fleet. It needs to be like a transformer. I don't mean like transformer in electricity, so to speak. I mean transformer like Hasbro or whatnot. I mean like the show, right? So that type of planetary weapon needs to actually be mobile. It needs to be a craft that you can sail in, that you can navigate in. Okay? So they're at the level where they're navigating a Death Star sized weapon into, you understand, right? So there's definitely no terraforming, there's definitely no transforming. So there's definitely no the moon. Well, the moon was actually already there, it was always there, but aliens got there and they transformed it into a weapon. It's highly unlikely, because whatever the need is for transforming that weapon, no civilization on that level is going to allow you to be doing that. And you say, okay, but we can hardly get to the point where it's like, well, the Earth didn't want it to happen, but they had no choice, and there was a fight. Well, hardly at that type of level, and stuff. Okay, so even if we jump to a little bit more unlikely scenarios, and an opposing civilization, advanced civilization, opposing civilization to Earth, okay, had floated in a Death Star, okay, strategically, perfectly, with their incredibly advanced understanding of engineering and orbital science and things, and gravity and stuff like that, okay, they parked the Death Star in a certain thing. They changed, okay, the orbits and the relationships of Earth, okay, and stuff like that. And a big war ensued and followed, and the Death Star was successful, and it completely wiped out the planet Earth, or did whatever it needed to do, and then whatever happened after that had happened, because the end result was everything is wiped clean and nothing was there. So it wasn't like they floated in a Death Star, took control of Earth, and Earth has been under control ever since, whatever. Well, it's not to a clear-cut classic sense of victory and control and stuff like that. So they came over and they completely, it's actually just not true, because there is no continuation on the planet. Even though there may be a continuation, the continuation is not a public continuation. The continuation is not an undeniable continuation where we can undeniably say, yes, we've been under control and in opposition ever since. We certainly may. That's the an idea. I don't want to say that's the cool thing. But we certainly may be under control and oppressed ever since, okay? But there's not a decisive ability to identify that. What we see is some kind of reset. If there is a history before us, then it is very accurate to describe the nature involved, and as far as a history is concerned, as far as identifying it in terms of a history of a chronological order, a chronology or whatever, it certainly looks like a reset. It certainly looks like whatever reached its pinnacle or whatever reached one point, okay, did not continue in that same way. There was a significant change. It was, right? Okay?